What's up, guys, and welcome back. And we're going to be breaking down each of our matches from last weekend's tournament. Yeah, the Invitational Snap Clash Tournament, where 16 streamers were invited to compete, and we did pretty good. So we're going to be breaking down each of these matches, but definitely let me know down below, what mistakes did you see? What would you have done differently if you were in my shoes running these types of decks? And if you don't know anything about the deck that I'm using, check out the link up there. It's the breakdown of the deck. Put that out yesterday, and every day I'm going to be doing another breakdown of one of the matches from the particular event. So with that being said, guys, this was a very awesome matchup. This is against CoCoFour. Yeah, and we brought his deck. We brought his deck because why not? So it was a lot of fun playing the deck, and I can't wait to get to see these breakdown. So this first match was against CoCoFour, another streamer who's really great. Now, he's the one that actually had this deck on his stream, so I decided to use his deck against him. It was a lot of fun, so I can't wait for you guys to see the breakdown and all the commentary around the match. So let me know what you think. Leave that comment down below. What do you think about it? Make sure you guys check back tomorrow, because I will put out the next match from the Snap Clash and full breakdown and all of that as well. All right, so coming into the first match, we are against Coco, and it looks like he did not bring the deck that we are playing. He chose to bring a Thanos deck, which is really going to be beneficial to us. We have Darkhawk in our hand, and with Thanos, they're already getting 6 extra cards in their deck, and that's really going to help. Now, turn 2, we do have Hala there, and not knowing exactly what type of Thanos deck he's on, we want to go ahead and get rid of that. We don't want him to throw a bunch of the stones or any of the lower cards into this location to get destroyed to give him room. So we're going to use our Scarlet Witch and go ahead and change that Hala into something else. And that was a pretty good read there. They did play their Hood and the Time Stone. Again, they're fine with those getting blown up, but by doing this, we went ahead and kind of took that away from them. Next location's Peak, which really helps our deck, because now cards like Darkhawk and things like that are a lot cheaper. Now, next up, we go ahead and play Polaris. That way, maybe we can pull the Hood over. If not, it'll be the Stone over into Clintar. That way, when they make this symbiote, it won't be as big. And we did get the Hood, which is exactly what we wanted to do. And we lucked up because they played Carnage. So by removing the Hood, they also didn't get to eat it with Carnage, and that was just a really good call. Now, his Bishop over on the right side is getting bigger because of that Peak, so we do need to be aware of that. Another thing to note, Coco did play Quinjet, which means now all of his stones are going to be free. So next turn, because of Peak, we're able to play our Sera out 1 turn early, which is really going to help our final turn. Looks like Coco played Reality Stone, but that Reality Stone really didn't help him out. It changed into Savage Land, really blocking up his location, and now we can easily win that just with a single card. Now this turn, I made some mistakes. I went ahead and put Darkhawk in the middle, and well, at the time, I just felt like this is the best way to make sure that we won that location. There's no telling, we don't know. He may have Killmonger or something like that, but on this other side with Clintar, kind of messed up our ordering there. We put Cosmo down first and then Juggernaut afterwards, and that made him not trigger. If he would have triggered, we would have knocked that Soul Stone over to the other side to really lock into that side to understand what we need to beat it, but it's okay. I didn't really want to fight over that location anyway, just because Bishop does have the ability to gain 3 more power, and we've already used our Darkhawk, which is kind of our big card here. So going in our last turn, we're just going to throw down our biggest power over on Clintar just to kind of edge that out. By putting Enchantress there, that puts it up to 12, and there's not much in his deck that can get up that big. And Coco lets it go. He goes ahead and retreats here, and we go ahead and go up 2 cubes. Next round, our hand looks okay. We do have Rockslide and Darkhawk. We have Lizard on turn 2. Nothing too special here, but it does look like a pretty good turn 6 play with Sera coming down on 5. Going into turn 2, we do have the Oscorp Tower coming up, which may be in our favor if Coco doesn't move that Space Stone. but it looks like at this point he's going to go ahead and play out the hood. Again, surprised he didn't move the Space Stone to make sure, guarantee that we get the hood, and we just go ahead and play our lizard down. Right location reveals, and it's Rickety Bridge. Not great for us with the lizard, but that does mean he's going to have to waste a card in there just to kill our lizard. Now I look at using Polaris because there is a potential possibility that we grab that hood, move it over. In worst case, with sewer system already being the -1, we can go ahead and move the stone over to just kind of give them less power, and we'll just deal with the hood if that's the one we get. Next turn, we're just going to go ahead and play our big card. We got Rockslide. Let's go ahead and try to take more away on that sewer system and see what they do with Rickety Bridge. Now Coco plays Demon in the middle, and he plays his Carnage on the right side. Now his Carnage is a throwaway play. It's not a bad play here. We're throwing away, you know, a 2-drop for a 2-drop, so I don't blame him on that one. Now looking at my hand with Rickety Bridge, we do have the ability to potentially Scarlet Witch on turn 6, but Coco beats us to it with his Professor X and goes ahead and locks down Rickety Bridge. Now this is a little bit difficult one because we don't really know exactly what is left in Coco's deck. There's a lot of different ways to play the Thanos deck. So we're going to go ahead and throw down Juggernaut on one side. Yeah, knocking over, completely taking down sewer system. And we're going to go ahead and do Darkhawk and Korg in Oscorp. Korg's going to cancel out that hood, and Darkhawk at this point should be pretty big considering all the stones, the extra cards Thanos already had, and the 3 extra rocks we put in his deck. That should take down anything Coco wants to do here. Now this is a very interesting play here. Coco laid down Valkyrie. Now Valkyrie is really good with a card like Bishop because Bishop already has more power on top of his normal power. He's able to go ahead and turn into a 3, and then those cards that he plays after that are going to pump him up. So this really helps break that stalemate that Valkyrie creates with every card being a 3. But we've got our Juggernaut. So our Juggernaut's going to go ahead and knock that Valkyrie over into the middle lane, giving us the left lane tie. That Darkhawk is just going to be too much and give us that middle lane. And with the tiebreakers between the two locations, yeah, we definitely got this over Professor X. So that's a big, big win. And this is the biggest thing when it comes to battle mode, is making sure you're, limiting those 4 cube games early on in this process. So round 3, we start off with Vormir, and this is fine. For his deck, for Coco's deck, he's got plenty of stones he can throw away in there to go ahead and get rid of that destroy. And for us, we have our Korg, so we just go ahead and throw Korg in there, give him another rock into his deck, and go ahead and open up that particular location. For turn 2, the location is Bar with No Name. This one isn't too bad if your deck can play around it. So again, if you have something like Hood, it's really good. Coco has Hood. On our deck, we have Scarlet Witch, and Coco also has the Reality Stone. So we can change this at any time. And that's what I'm looking at with my Scarlet Witch. Maybe we wait till turn 6 or something like that, knowing that he can also change it if he needs to. Next up, we have Tinkerer's Workshop, just giving us a little bit more energy, which is pretty nice. It allows us to play our 4-drop on 3. So we go ahead and throw out that Rockslide, adding 2 more rocks into his deck, which is really going to benefit us. Again, he's already got a bunch of stones, which really aren't the most powerful cards on their own, but now he's going to have 3 rocks in his deck to really clog up any kind of good draws he may have. Now, the good thing about Coco's deck that he has is he does have Carnage. Again, we haven't seen anything like Killmonger to do a big board wipe, but he does have Carnage, so he throws down 2 of those stones and then eats them up with Carnage just to boost up that Carnage. So going into this one, I'm not really sure exactly what Coco's going to be doing. So we go ahead and try to just set up something like a Darkhawk over on the right side. So we throw down Cosmo just so we can hide cards behind him and not have to worry about any kind of interaction like a Shang-Chi or anything like that. We're assuming he has some type of interaction somewhere in the deck. So that's what we do. And it looks like Coco throws out his Bishop and starts that train rolling just like all the other games. Now we get a snap that gets thrown down here. I honestly can't remember if I snapped or he snapped, but that takes us into turn 5. So based on Coco's plays here with the Quinjet and the Shang-Chi coming down, I have to assume he thought on that particular turn we were maybe going to throw down the Darkhawk over on the right side. We lucked out again. We didn't have the Darkhawk yet, but honestly, if I had that, I would have put it on Vormir. But that Quinjet already has me in my mind knowing he's going to be using Reality Stone on that middle location. So he is going to change that to try to sneak out that location. So we do need to be aware of either going after that location or going after that Tinker's Workshop and putting some more power over there. Now, the beauty of our turn here is we can go ahead and force that. So we have Scarlet Witch and we have Juggernaut. We're going to just throw down Polaris on Vormir, giving us just a little bit more breathing room in case whatever we hit out of Bar with No Name goes over to Vormir. Now, again, this game was at 2 cubes plus the snap. So going in for 4 cubes here, Coco decides to escape. I think it's a great call. So in this round, we're still not in the sudden death yet. So the game is still just worth 1 cube. And of course, we get everybody's favorite location, turn 1, Triskelion. Yeah, nobody likes that location. If you don't have 1-drops, well, you kind of taken away a whole turn and a whole draw. And for Coco's deck, this is really, really not good. For our deck, we also would like to draw something, but we can't really do much. So Coco plays Hood, which, yeah, it gets a card out of his hand, but because he draws the demon, he still doesn't get an actual draw out of his deck. Now, we have Zabu, so of course, we're going to go ahead and use Zabu. We actually lucked up with a couple 4-drops from Triskelion. We had Typhoid Mary, we had Dazzler, and we had Shang-Chi already in hand, so that's just going to be a good thing. Now, we do have Thanos in our hand, but without the stones, he's not really worth playing in our particular deck. Now, Coco actually ends up with something really nice. He got the Vulture, and we have Strange Academy, so yeah, that's going to be pretty nice to be able to put him down and get him to move, and that was a pretty good play on Coco's part. Now, we see that, and of course, we can't let Coco have any fun, so we're going to go ahead and take Scarlet Witch and change that Strange Academy into something else. That way, that Vulture isn't going to get all that extra power. And because we want to use our energy the most effective we can, we just throw down Swarm just to add a little bit more power on that lane as well. So at this point, Olympia's kind of the one where we don't really want to fight over. That's why we're throwing Swarm over here with Scarlet Witch. Gives us a little bit more power. We do have Darkhawk in hand. Yeah, his morph turned into a Darkhawk. I know you guys see it on Facebook all the time. How did this person get this card? Blah, blah, blah. It's always morph. And yeah, that morph hit a really, really good card. And you can see because of Triskelion, we've already, not gotten one of our draws, and he's pretty big over there. Now, I'm not too worried because we do have Shang-Chi if we want to go after that lane a little bit later. So going into this turn, we're going to go ahead and throw down our Darkhawk into the vault. Not really sure if it's the best play. Again, normally I like to hide him behind a Cosmo so he can't really get affected. But if he doesn't have anything this turn, he's going to lock in the vault, and we're going to have that one. And we're going to go ahead and throw down a Korg just the center as well, because if something were to happen on the vault, we do have to start putting some power into Olympia, and having Shang-Chi can already kind of help take care of that Darkhawk or any big card he may play there. Now, Coco reads this so well. He did play Shang-Chi, which takes out our Darkhawk, but the good thing about this is we're still tied up in the vault, so it is going to come down to tiebreakers. So knowing it's coming down to tiebreakers, we want to make sure that that Darkhawk is not there. He may still have something that's pretty good, but we need to make sure that he's not going to have that particular card. And so we kind of go back and forth on how we're going to play this out. By throwing down Shang-Chi, we can go ahead and take care of the Darkhawk, but we're not really sure exactly how we want to handle Olympia, right? We can either Juggernaut the cards away, which is kind of where we start in our mindset, but that allows the potential to knock these cards over to the vault and then us lose the vault. So we pull that back, and then we look at doing something more. So because he has the demon there, we can use Polaris on Triskelion, pull demon over, and go ahead and win that location. And then also on top of that, have a Shang-Chi to take care of the Darkhawk and potentially even win the middle location. Now, Coco's on reveal is a little scary here. So now Blue Marvel has actually broken the tie that we had on Vault, and that Bass now actually gives us a second target, and we got lucky. She pulls the demon, and based on that, we have the win in the ties over here in Triskelion, taking down CoCoFour with his own deck. I'm sorry, Coco. I'm so sorry I had to do it with your own deck. And a flawless victory at that. All right, guys, so that was the match, and like I said, it was a good one. It was a really good one, maybe more so on my side, but I had a lot of fun in that particular match. And like I said, tomorrow the newest episode will come out with round 2 of the Snap Clash. So if you're still watching the video, I would love it if you could go down and hit that sub button, hit the like button, just leave any comment if you haven't left one yet. Let's get this video out there so people can see it. And I can't wait to do more of these competitive events, because this weekend we're going to be competing in the Creator Clash up in New York, the first in-person tournament. And who knows, maybe we'll bring this deck, maybe we'll bring one of our others. You let me know down below. But until next time, guys, check out the deck tech. It's right there. Click it.